Have you reached the Propofol-Pusher ceiling? You have 15 years of experience, you've handled every high-acuity case in the book, yet you're being micromanaged by a rigid protocol written by an administrator who hasn't seen the inside of an OR in a decade. It's insulting. You know the patient needs a specific regional block or a nuanced anesthetic plan, but the corporate way demands a one-size-fits-all approach. You've hit a ceiling where your clinical judgment is sidelined for the sake of efficiency. When you aren't allowed to practice at the top of your license, you don't just lose your autonomy, you lose your passion for the craft. Think about how that actually plays out in your daily practice. You walk into a pre-op holding area, look at a complex patient with multiple comorbidities, and immediately map out a tailored, elegant anesthetic plan. But before you can even draw up your first medication, a corporate supervisor reminds you of hospital policy. You are told that regional blocks take too long for today's schedule, or that a specific multimodal approach doesn't fit the facility's low-cost formulary. Suddenly, your decade and a half of advanced training is reduced to a standard recipe. You are being paid for your hands, not your brain. The consequence of leaving this unresolved isn't just professional boredom, it's a slow erosion of your clinical identity. You enter the hospital with a sense of dread, realizing that any attempt to advocate for the absolute best in patient care will be met with administrative pushback over room turnover metrics. You become a compliance metric instead of a specialized clinician. Measure how much you value clinical independence with our assessment. Want to find your perfect anesthesia job fit? Once you have your score, head over to Jobs in Anesthesia to find roles that offer the autonomy you've earned. The path out of this corporate assembly line requires data, not just frustration. When you take the assessment, it helps you pause and quantify. It breaks down your professional desires into hard metrics. Do you want a pure independent practice model? Do you thrive in a highly collaborative, peer-led care team where your voice carries real weight in protocol design? Or are you looking for an ASC setting where efficiency is balanced with absolute clinical trust? Once the assessment identifies your exact autonomy threshold, you don't have to blindly send your CV out into the ether. You take that data directly to Jobs in Anesthesia, a dedicated platform where the job descriptions bypass the generic HR fluff. You can specifically target independent practices, physician-led groups, and facilities that explicitly outline their care team dynamics and scope of practice. You shift from a passive job seeker to an informed clinician interviewing potential partners. Take the assessment today to reclaim your autonomy and find your next role at Jobs in Anesthesia. If you found value in this video, may we suggest watching our video titled Introducing Jobs in Anesthesia. Just click the video thumbnail above.